Welcome back to the John Fredericks Radio Network. And on the line with us, our good friend and special guest today. Thank you for coming back on, Governor Bob Ehrlich. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Great.
Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. I know you got to catch a train, so we'll go fast. What is happening with the book? It's on fire?
Book came out on fire, number one, on at least one of the Amazon categories. And anyway, I've probably now had about 30 book dates. We've completed 7, so I'm on the road. I'll be at Franklin Marshall College in Pennsylvania tomorrow. What's really neat this is my 4th book, as you know, and as the previous books have done pretty well, it builds momentum. When Amazon saw how this book came out, they tripled their order for the publisher, for example. So, and obviously, people love the title as well.
It's the great title. Tell us the title.
And who saw this one coming? But very few people. But I'm really enjoying the speeches, the tour, particularly when I get to the colleges. I'll be at Wake Forest in a couple weeks as well. So things are going real well with the book, and I certainly would encourage your listeners to run out and get a copy. We
will encourage them. Now, let me ask you a question. We spoke about Blue Dog Democrats. Whatever happened to them?
Yeah.
Extinction?
Well, what happened to them, I wrote a piece for National Review last week. I would ask everybody listening to go read for National Review online. And it talked it talked about 2 subcategories of Democrats. One, Blue Dogs. They've been gone for a long time. When I first got to Congress in '94, they were still around, but because of redistricting won, and what redistricting did was allow Republicans in the outer suburbs and more rural areas of the South and West to take those seats that many conservative Democrats have had for a long time. As you know, it happened in the Maryland legislature as well. It happened in legislatures around the country. So when I first got to the Maryland legislature in the 1980s, the Senate chairmen were conservative Democrats. They owned businesses. They signed the front of checks. They got it. They understood. They were capitalists. They got job creation. And so the fact they were Democrats was irrelevant. They were pretty conservative and very pro-business. That way the Democratic Party has been wiped out nationally, and the evidence is there every day. Well, what I wrote my piece about in National Review was the fact that traditional liberals, I said, where are the Hubert Humphreys of the world? Well, the liberals stood for dissent and speech and the civil rights movement, the women's movement, the anti-war movement. Now, today, the progressives are in the business of shutting down speech. What would Hubert Humphrey say? I mean, even traditional liberals, Feinstein in California is being challenged from the left. So as the Democratic Party moves further and further and further and further left, even traditional liberals are on the defensive, and it's a real interesting dynamic in American politics.
So what does that mean for November, Governor?
It means, I'm not sure. It means that the Democrats will be putting a platform of, for the most part, open borders and repealing tax cuts and sanctuary cities. And if that's the baseline, if that's the platform, you got to feel pretty good. The Republicans will.
That's what I think.
By the way, a very spotty mixed record on the right here with Republican control. But despite that, if that's what they're running against, and they can't beat that, we're in trouble.
Exactly. Now look at your state, Maryland. Amazon's coming to the final round. Rick Edelman just put an op-ed piece in USA Today, which I've said a while ago wasn't about Amazon. I've said this about government agencies. If they're non-essential, put them out, to places that need jobs. Kentucky, Ohio, whatever, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. But essential be in the Beltway because, infrastructure's tight. There's a lot of traffic now. Just yesterday, a 3-hour ride took me 6 hours, 2 accidents on 64. Oh, yeah. It's terrible. Oh, yeah. And Virginia does not do accidents.
That intercounty connector is a pretty road. That's a pretty good road.
That's a great road.
It has a good name attached to it, too.
But but I want to say one thing. If it does bring in 100,000 jobs, Governor, how are we going to move these people around?
I do not know.
And I also heard your guys in your state speaking yesterday, especially Montgomery County, that this new tax code the Maryland Assembly is going to go in your pocket anyway. Even if you get your taxes cut, they're going to find a way to get your money.
The progressives, right? Can you imagine the former, as I just described, 20, 30 years ago, those Democratic chairmen would be up front and center with regard to Amazon. Mm-hmm. Today, I'm not so sure with the progressive left. So economic development is not one of their priorities. It is for a lot of people, obviously. It is for the state of Maryland, the revenue, obviously, the pride, the dollars at stake here. But Maryland traditionally has a hard time winning these competitions with other states. And the tax code's one reason.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to be in Weston, Pennsylvania? Where is this college?
It's in Lancaster, Franklin Marshall.
Okay, Lancaster. Okay, fine.
So, yeah. So it's just fun to be on the road with the book, and I talk to a lot of groups, typically Republican groups, business groups, Lincoln Day dinners, college groups, young Republicans, and just to get out there and get a feel for what's happening in the country. It's what allowed me to actually write this book, because I was on tour for my third book. And I saw the Trump thing happening, the phenomenon, just the enthusiasm for this outsider candidate with a very, very unique MO. And that's what this book is about, how it happened, the end of Obama and the beginning of Trump.
Governor, will you be in Tyson's Corner? Did you book Tyson's Corner yet?
I've not booked Tyson's Corner yet, but somebody's out there looking for it. I'm obviously interested. So
I think Mark Levin gets a line out the door, I think, at Barnes & Noble. Also, there's another good spot, Governor, in Thurmont. There's a nice place out there.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Thurmont's great.
If you could hook up something in Thurmont or Frederick.
Of interest, just get a hold of us, and we'll try to fit you in the calendar. Obviously, for me, it's a great time of year, obviously, with baseball and my kids playing, and Drew's now at Villanova, the strong safety of spring practice. So
fantastic.
There's a lot going on in the Ehrlich family.
That's great. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I promise to get you off the air. We'll give you another minute and a half. How's that? And then you can make the run.
Well, I it's great talking to you, first of all. And again, I would just tell everybody that it's real important that everyone gets together with regard to the midterms. This progressive left cannot control any chamber of Congress. If that's the case, conservatives, whether you're a Trump fan or just a conservative or whether you're a Republican or a free market person, you're going to be on the defensive for the next 2 years.
Governor, what about the caravan coming up from Mexico? Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah, it is, and it's a function, obviously, of the previous administration and this sort of open borders phenomenon. And you see it on cable every night, particularly on the Fox shows, where the leftists will show up or the progressive guests will show up and basically defend open borders. And this is me, you, your listeners, majority of the country. We believe in American exceptionalism and the melting pot, and assimilation and sovereignty and all of these concepts that make a country and set us apart. And suddenly, all of these traditional American values are under attack by the progressive left.
Well, they use these terminologies like we're a nation of immigrants. No, we're a nation of citizens, and we have a nation of laws too.
Well, we are a nation of immigrants. Legal immigrants. Ellis Island was about legal immigration, right?
That's right.
Yes, we are a nation of immigrants. Absolutely, we are. Legal,
exactly.
Follow the law.
Well, we're going to have you back on a couple of more times before the midterms, but let's keep the shotgun rolling. Let's keep the shotgun rolling.
Your listeners all jazzed up here and ready to go to the polls. And obviously, if you want a good read, it's not a long read. Take a look at Bet You Didn't See This One Coming. It's on Amazon and local bookstores as well.
Governor Barb Ehrlich, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, sir.
Take care, pal. Take care. Bye-bye.
And that was the governor. Can we do a commercial for John? Mike, do I have time? Let me do a live read for John, because these are what pay the bills. It's Provident, Mike Karzak, and today I'm going to do a live read for you. It says it's John Fredericks here, but it's not. It's Colonel Mike. And here's the message from America First Policies. America First means ensuring trade deals that are beneficial for American workers and businesses. President Trump has been working tirelessly to renegotiate existing trade deals to better benefit Americans. And in a major breakthrough, the U.S. and South Korea, thank God, have announced an update updated free trade agreement. South Korea will dramatically reduce the amount of steel it exports into the U.S., which will protect steel manufacturers here in America. Automakers will also win big. South Korea will now allow 50,000 American-made vehicles to be sold in their market from each automaker, double the previous amount. I can't wait to see Suburbans, GMCs, and everything in South Korea. And this is only the beginning. Expect America's trade deals to keep getting better. To learn more about trade and America First Policies, a nonprofit organization supporting key policy initiatives that will work for all citizens in our country and put America first, please visit www.americafirstpolicies.org.